So I've seen this passive aggressive bullshit before. I call them tactics and strategies. The strategy is generally like we want to make someone sick, or we want to fuck with this person for like a larger goal, which that person may not see. Okay. Tactics is like how you would do it, and generally they're people talk about meta and Facebook and all that, but they're meta tactics. They're like playbook styles of, and I equate this to football because they do the same. It's like a joke making fun of Trump or something. There's like pictures of him. I don't know. Again, I don't like the guy. I don't. So one of the tactics is what you'll do is you will. So I'll give you a case in point. You'll have Will Smith, who's a black guy here, who claims his name is Will Smith. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I've no fucking idea. He's an 80-year-old guy. He's an asshole. He'll play something about boxing, which then equates to who wears masks and why on my cell phone, which is bugged. But now, so that boxing was when I was doing the thing for which I wanted to do, right? Boxing is, oh, well, he's drawing, or he's reading, or he's doing something that is like in a sense, masculine. I use masculine and feminine, but it is he is doing the thing for which it is a creative force for which he expends energy. The feminine is to respond to what other people do, right? Again, don't equate that to men and women, I'm just saying. So the other one is if he plays something about a prison, right? Like you're a prisoner of your own device or something. So play something about a prison, then somebody else in the shelter will play something about, the bitch song repeatedly, where it's a song about it's a rap song that somebody just says bitch, 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 like constantly. So the thing here is that if you listen to that, and then someone else does the other thing, which is like a mild form of like, we've drugged and poisoned you to the point where your legs are going to fall off, but now what we're going to do is we're going to poke you again to see if you'll do anything about it. And if you don't, then it means that you believe in freedom or something, right? It's to wear someone down, essentially. So the tactic here is, the strategy is to wear someone down and like enforce a power structure which is bullshit, or to instigate a fight. Like, this guy's 80 years old. If I hit him, then I go to prison for like a year and have a felony, and then I'm part of like the police department. Then the police department will like say, oh, he's a crazy person that hit an 80-year-old man, and then they'll put me in with a bunch of people who would just murder me in prison, right? While I slept next to him in the shelter, like he was a bed across from me, I would be drugged so that my head hurt when I heard things, and then he would play on repeat 5-second videos of boxing clips for like hours, right? And I don't have anywhere else to go because all the shelters in the city are run by one organization, essentially, Five Keys, which is crooked. So when I make YouTube videos, right, about all the things that are here in the city that are fucked up, then he plays something about a prison, which then equates to somebody else saying bitch, 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 bitch on their phone. And again, what this is it's supposed to be you have to be part of. So what you do is if you dislike someone and you want to like have them react to what you're doing, you give them multiple options of which you win in every instance. So I could physically fight him or confront him, in which he stands on the basis of freedom, like it's none of your business. And then he has friends that I don't. I can complain, at which point that then proves that he must be right and I must be crazy. Or I don't believe in freedom. So believing in freedom or not believing in freedom, in either case, I'm wrong, right? And then if I record it and react to it, then other people will say, oh, well, we can do the same to you because it's comparable, except I'm not drugging and poisoning people until their legs fall off or they have brain damage. So it's this like moral, it's like attempting to take someone's philosophical or moral stance and just use power in order to destroy them, like to prove that their philosophy is worthless for someone who thinks that they're intelligent. The other thing is you can't, this sort of wearing someone down is designed to make it so that someone doesn't have agency outside of the way that other people act, and then makes it harder for them to come up with their own decisions, while of course they have a brain disease that's caused by an infected blood, which is caused by cellulitis, which is caused by athlete's foot. Now in December of 2023 for Christmas, the Five Keys shelters gave people like baby lotion for their feet as like a Christmas gift. And between then and now, like I want to say like hundreds of people have died from like having their limbs fall off or had like like when I say hundreds, I mean like over 100. Like I wouldn't be surprised because it's not like obvious. It's like I feel sick and lightheaded because my feet are cracked. Like how would I even know? And so like, yeah, so this is Five Key shelters. It's like, well, we didn't, it's a shelter system. They don't have to give you, athlete's foot cream, right? It's not illegal. You can't get caught. It's real hard to prove that, like, people are, like, fucking with your clothes to, like, give you sickness in the shelters that's then going to kill a bunch of people. And if you have money, then you can sit around with your legs up, get rid of the athlete's foot relatively easily on your like day job, and then not have your legs fall off. So like people essentially paid the shelters to murder a bunch of people. It's like join a gang, get a bunch of money so you can sit around on your ass, or we're going to have your legs fall off and have you murdered. But somehow I'm wrong. You see how like incredibly frustrating this is? It's like somehow this is my like somehow all of this proves that that my thinking is somehow like clearly my head's fucked up because I'm in pain all the time, but like somehow that my moral philosophy is, or like the way that I believe is somehow less correct than this. And you're like, well, it's just power, so you can't fight power. It's like, okay, well, the flip side of this is once it becomes known, and you've done it to so many people that if I'm the only, like, I'm not going to be the only person who's going to complain about this. Once it becomes known, no one's going to want to be here. All the businesses are going to close, everyone's going to flee, and you're going to be surrounded by jackasses all the time. For like until the problem is fixed, including the people that paid off the shelters and like the people who did the drugging and then all the people who are sick with shit in their blood, like all of it. And until that happens, like, and like everybody who didn't do anything is complicit, right? Like it's like, oh, you knew about this and then like you did nothing to stop the problem and then hundreds of people died while it's like happening right next to you. Like if I had people like there's been like a bunch of people who go to like who pick up a sign, like I just walked past it yesterday, they're like bitching about Elon Musk or like they're complaining about the war in fucking Gaza. And this is like maybe it's a false flag or like false flag op where you're supposed to like saturate the media with shit that's not important and then like make someone care about the thing that is important that's local so that it's like all they care about is local. Like I don't know. I believe it's one of these things where it's like only the rich get to care about the things that are important overseas, because that means you're intelligent because you don't have any real problems. And so it's like, oh, look. Oh, and they also have the guys on like mountain bikes that go by. They'll time it so that right, like if I'm doing something masculine and creative, it's guys on Harleys. If I'm doing something that's bitching, it's guys on motorcycles that are like mountain bikes. Oh, fuck Christ. So right. So it's one of these. It's what it is it's privilege bitching. So this like an overall like meta narrative is we're going to show you all the ways that you were privileged as we take away your privileges by poisoning you. See, you're no longer privileged because now you care about things that are news to you but not to anyone else, and it's not international, and so therefore like your news isn't important, and then you become the news, and then you don't get to watch the news, and so it's like a neoliberal way of like and again, I'm not into I'm not into politics, but they have across from the Bread and Butter Cafe, okay? They have a closed strip joint, which they've put flags on it that just say privilege on it, on the top. Where the strip joint is just being squatted in. And it's like, you could have anything there, including a strip joint. But instead you like have an abandoned building with like flags on it that say privilege. And then you like sicken people. Like, it's not even a left or right thing. It's just like you're just fucking idiots. And again, people want to be on a team or a side or something, and it's just like, oh look, it's a privilege. Like having people march off to like shout about wars somewhere else, and then making you sick so your news isn't important because it's like privilege. While they like march past a shit ton of abandoned buildings? Like I assume it's just insurance fraud. Like large scale insurance fraud. It's like how do we destroy the city and then buy it all up cheap because we've already established that, like again, like once you want to fight someone, you've decided the way you're going to do it, and anything that happens you win. So they were like, okay, well, worst comes to worst, we just commit insurance fraud or have our friends buy up all the property and then make out like bandits or something. And I don't know. And it's just... And you can't see into this shit on Google Maps or Apple Maps because they don't have the cars drive by. You can't see it. Any picture you see of the city is like wrong, essentially. So, yeah.